Hello everyone. Is audio working? Yes it is. Okay. Welcome to the first CTL replay cast of this season. Normally I am joined by Snoopy for this. Unfortunately, he could not be here. I don't think he's going to be here for the season replay cast. We'll hopefully have some other people joining me for some of the later casts. I am streaming with this new webcam, so hopefully that works. You can see it. If my finger block it, I'm trying to do a thumbs up. I don't even know if the lighting works for it as well, but yeah, setting it up. I haven't used a webcam too much, so hopefully it works. Okay, so this is AlphaX versus PiGPan, also known as Taste the Bacon. And this is week 1 of the new season. It was a important matchup for us. The first 2 weeks were pretty important for us against PiGPan and then Team UR. So that's going to be a pretty big deal to see the results of these first 2 weeks for us. First of all, we got some people in the chat. A lot of people from PiGPan. Thanks for stopping by. Tell 'em Teach, MC2, Monster Mash, Master Shake, and Sniper as well. Hope you guys are doing good. Had a great Valentine's Day. So I'm going to jump right into game number 1, which is our gold slot. And boom. Is it working? Okay, here we go. So our first match is going to be Hydral versus Tropical. Turdio was going to be our player for the gold slot. However, had to sub him out because he was just barely ineligible. It's frustrating, but Hydral was a champ, came in, and subbed in for him. On year 0. Okay, for our game number 1, we have Hydral in the top corner of year 0 as the light pink Zerg. Wow, these colors are very similar. A little bit tough for me to tell. Okay. And we have the purple Terran in the other corner. It is Tropical. Purple Terran. It's all good, Monster Mash. Rules are the rules. It was my mistake. Voice does not match the face. Yeah, I am young. It is true. I don't know if he's saying my voice sounds younger than I look, or I'm a little unsure. But either way, I'm cool with it. It's cool. We got these Brood War skins for these workers. Very, very nice. I sound older. Okay. I thought that was the case. Still have a baby face. So, TVZ on this map. Very short air distance between the two mains, which means drop play is going to be good on this map. It does have a downward facing ramp on the natural, so it does mean also Zergs can get those nice walls off as well. Factory build coming out for Tropical. Did he skip Reaper, or did I miss it? It looks like he just didn't build a Reaper at all. Went straight into his factory production. And looks like he's going to go for a CC on the low ground. Zoom out a little bit here. So will we see a starport immediately after this? Only one gas. Okay, so a little bit surprising, but I would think that if he was going to go for a 2-on-1 timing, then he would get his second gas. Yeah, but his Hellions are the first units he's going to build. No Marines or anything like that. With CC on the low ground means it is a bit of a risk. If Hydral were to pressure cross the map with a couple Lings, could possibly get a cancel, delay that for a bit. And it looks like it is going to be 2-Ace Roach for Hydral. A little unsure of Tropical's build. Is he going to swap this out? Still no starport, so it's unlikely that we're going to see a Banshee very shortly. I'm wondering if he's going to swap these out and start producing a tank for some defense. He will need something other than Hellions to defend against the potential of 2-Base Roach on this map. Although if you do get a tank on one of these positions on the ledges, it can be very effective. If you're zoning the Roaches out to here, it can be tough for the Roaches to walk all the way up and get some shots on the tank. Okay, there's the starport. So maybe he will go for it. Go for the Banshee. Armory on the way as well, so possibility of Hellbats at this point. Scan going down in the main. Does not see the Roach Warren. Sees the Evos though. Although he still has not scouted for to check potential third locations. So he's still a bit in the dark about what Hydral is doing, and Hydral can use that to his advantage. He started to produce Roaches. He has, looks like 5 now. And missile attacks being upgraded in his evolution chambers. Looks like he's producing a medevac out of this starport with no add-ons. So, not a super efficient build from Tropical by use of his production facilities at this point. Looks like he will go for a Hellbat drop, possibly, as the Armory is going to finish up here. And move across the map with those Hellions. The third base did go down for Hydral. It's a later third base, though, and he still is most likely going to push across the map with a Roach force. Maybe he will wait for 1-1. Tropical moving around the map, going to get some scouting intel. These Hellions. See the third location. If Hydral just swings around with his Roaches to defend that third, he should be perfectly fine. Scanning up the ramp there. Smart, making sure he doesn't walk into anything. And choosing to hit the natural. Okay, this is a mistake. Well, okay. If he thinks he can take the fight, then sure, but he didn't scan up in that position. Hellbat's in a nice funnel there, but the problem is there's several Queens and Roaches behind this. So, yeah, that in this situation, you want to put pressure on the third. Just blindly walking into a funnel of Roach Queen is not what you want to do here. He still has this medevac, so he can try to pressure possibly in the main. There's no static defense there. If he wants to try to get a few drone kills. Sketchy, thank you for the bits you just cheered. That was 8. Appreciate that. Yeah, so Hellbat's dropping in here, forcing Hydro to pull all his roaches back. That's a strong move. We lost 4 drones there. Okay, I thought it was actually a bit more. The pull from Hydro was pretty quickly. Still some nice utility. If Tropical was more on top of his drop, then he could have dropped those Hellbats in there, got a few more drones, and didn't necessarily need to lose them. We've got Liberators being built for Tropical. Still just producing Hellbats out of that. We've got Combat Shields coming in a very late Combat Shield. So this is a little bit of a disorganized production scheme from Tropical. Now Hydra's pushing across the map with some a large number of roaches, and there's no tanks. There's not really anything that can counter this. So that Liberator is going to be pretty much the only thing to stand against these roaches if Tropical does not start producing. It looks like he's trying to switch into Bio here. But the problem is that means he's going to be vulnerable for a period of time before those production facilities are up, where he's really not going to be able to produce anything. It looks like Hydro is going to beat down these rocks and try to walk up the long way by this third base, which would be smart if Tropical had some sort of map presence, but he will not, and it's not going to matter that much in the end. Roach speed just now finished a very late Roach speed, but it's here. And got a stream of Lings and a couple of Hydras as well. That's going to be good for getting that Liberator down. So I assume he's going to wait for these Lings and going to go for a bust here at this natural. Now he sees it. He's in the range. Okay, he's not waiting for all his other units. That could be a mistake, but there's not much here. There's only Hellbats. Widowmine's Bury. They could get some really nice hits if he's not careful. Great hit, but still there's only a handful of Hellbats here. So there's actually nothing here for Tropical, so this is going to be an easy win for Hydro. Yeah, there's just actually nothing. Okay, so Hydro, thank you for subbing in this week. Appreciated the game, practiced hard, prepped for this match. Unfortunately, Hydro became ineligible as well later in the week, which is very frustrating, but we're going to have to keep rotating through gold to try to find someone. Okay, gonna go right into my our second game, which is Axis versus Singularity. Axis is a player, been in the CTL for a very long time, was our set 1 player for just our rock for a very long time, several seasons ago. Was very reliable and a good guy, good to coach and very teachable. So a very good CTL and AlpX team member. Okay, in the top corner of Cyber Forest, we have the green Protoss, Singularity. And at the bottom, we have the orange Zerg. It is Axis, hailing from Texas. But I believe he was in Philly or Toms River, New Jersey recently, so it's pretty close to my neck of the woods. J Skippy subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 2 months, currently on a 2-month streak. Thank you, J Skippy. That is reminding me that I need to put up that Streamlabs thing. I'm going to make a note of it right now. So Axis does well when he prepares a specific build and execute it. He's good at executing a build. And For CTL, which is best of one for all sets except the master set, which is something that gets debated a lot, but in a best of one format, it's really about preparing for one specific match against one specific player, against one map, so on one particular map. So you can cater a build for, you know, one specific instance. This is just repeating myself here, but the thing is that even if your macro may be worse than someone, you can still prepare a build to outsmart them if you're good enough at prepping a game plan. Teams like SC Swarm have done it. Zerg, you just cheese a bunch. That's very legitimate, and I think especially at these lower levels, having a strong Zerg ability to cheese is very good in the CTL with best of ones, especially at this gold level. That average 82 APM, rocking it. Looks like it is going to be a roach timing for Axis. I think on this map, on Cyberforest, it's going to be difficult for Axis because you get that nice wall off, and then you can start to get a concave. You get a natural concave for your defense. So I think it will be difficult for Axis to get a ton, and it's also a pretty far distance. Stargate going down as expected. The norm now. PVZ. We have got a bunch of lings coming out, and the roaches are in production now. Okay, there is a probe coming back here. This is going to be huge. He's going to scout a few lings. Did he see any roaches? Okay, sorry, there weren't any roaches built. So just saw the speed lings. He did see a low drone count. So actually, let me check that vision. What did he see exactly? Okay. Didn't see too much, but he's throwing down his Twilight Council and his Robo now. And is he just going to skip the Oracle entirely and go straight into Immortal Tech? I think he may suspect the Roach timing, or sorry, Ravager timing. And he's probably going to be able to get an Immortal up fairly quickly if he chronos it out. Now, there's only a few Adepts here. He can warp in a few more. Actually, Warp Gate's very far off, and he hasn't been producing any. There's one shield battery. Probably needs a bit more to hold here. An Oracle is on the way, so it's going to provide a nice cleanup. Axis is waiting. He needs to go in right now. He's moving in now. But Immortal, the clock on the Immortal is now. It's out. One shield battery mana is going to get drained pretty quickly. And those Adepts not being microed too well. The Oracle is out. But actually, the door is open for Axis to come in, and it's GG. So a nice quick win for Axis. And nice job for Monster Mash. I was a little bit surprised when only 2 Adepts there. I guess he stopped more production. I had imagined that if he had produced a few more, had a couple more shield batteries at home, and got the Oracle and Immortal out as well, they would have been able to hold. But yeah, nice strategy from Axis. That's what I said. Axis preparing a specific build does very well. Okay, so our next map is going to be Axis versus... Sorry, not Axis. It's going to be Wizard versus Monster Mash. Landfear's in the chat, Sniper as well. So thank you for being here. Also, Monster Mash, MC2, Master Shake. Thanks for tuning in. All right, in the bottom corner. Sorry. The 2 o'clock position. On automation, it is Monster Mash as the light pink Zerg. And as the red Zerg, it is Wizard. CVZ. Now, full disclosure, I'm not very qualified to really cast much, but at all, but especially ZVZ. So I'm gonna have some hot takes here. Some of them are most likely gonna be wrong, but buckle up because Snoopy's not here to help me. Mirror build so far, not a super early pool. 17 pool from both players. Automation is an interesting map. It's almost shaped a little bit like a 3-player map is, in the sense that if this space was moved up a bit, then you could fit a third one down here. So it's not a super clean shape like a lot of the maps are now. So I think it's a very interesting map. We've got a aggressive Evo chamber from Monster Mash. This is interesting. Okay. So I think I forget exactly what this is doing. Blocking gas production. So yeah, blocking one of his gases. Not sure if that's totally how that works out for being cost effective, but Evo chamber pretty cheap, of course. Queen is out here, so gonna be blocking that. Just thinking that the Zerg could just get the gas at the second base if they wanted to gas that fast, but I guess that there's reasons for this. Bailing Nest going down for Monster Mash. We have no tech beyond spawning pool for Wizard right now. And that aggressive, that bold Evo chamber is down to half health. This natural is very wide open, so on several maps, like the last map, it had that nice choky natural. This is not one of those maps, which means I think 2-base aggression, pushing in with roaches, is going to be very good. A lot of these maps, if you get a nice wall off with Evo chambers, then it's just it's very tough to make a fast 2-base roach push timing work. But on this map, it's a bit more open because you got a huge space, especially because the ramp is far away from where the actual hatchery is. There's that Evo. And those enemy broodlings, they're going to try to get a drone. Oh, they almost got him. The hero broodlings, the little broodlings that couldn't. The third hatchery for Monster Mash is up. That is scouted by Wizard. There was an Overlord there, though. And it looks like Monster Mash has been accruing quite a number of lings. He's got a little bunch of banelings spawning at that third base location for Wizard. So this could get very ugly very fast because the army supply is not there for Wizard. Okay, bad baneling detonation. He's rolling in here. He's going straight for the natural. There's 2 queens in this base. I don't think they're going to do anything, so nothing happens there. This attack's a little bit disjointed. But all the lings of Wizard have been cleaned up. So there's a ton of banelings, just like live wires here. Okay, so not the banelings weren't good, but the ling flood coming in here is very strong for Monster Mash. And it looks like it's going to be curtains for Wizard. Yeah, that's it. Just a 3-base Larva Ling Flood. The morphing banelings of Wizard get some. Ooh, that was a juicy detonation. Yeah, don't worry, Mystic. I haven't. Don't have an idea of what I'm doing either. So. Wizard staying in the game. Trying to eke everything he can out of this. And ooh, clutch Overlord kill from Monster Mash at the 3rd base. Wizard is staying in the game. He's producing lings. So I suppose that what just happened is that that was a nice detonation. Spawning pool is being rebuilt, but right now these lings are what you see is what you get for Wizard. What I was saying was that you know, one of the things about Zerg is that that was a juicy hit though. If you accrue larva in the wrong way, then suddenly the game can switch in your favor. If you're not wise with your larva, then the game can just flip your opponent's way very fast. So he didn't have intel, and Wizard must have queued some drones right before the attack hit. He had no larva, and it snowballed out of control. Like, the first Banelings hits weren't great. So if Wizard hadn't droned up as much, then he probably would have had. But he would have been in a better position. However, because he chose to accrue a bunch of larvae towards drones, it was the critical mistake. It looks super dark in here. I'm not sure if I can affect the lighting right now, but okay. So let's see. That is the Gorgonoth, Chase Skippy. It's the one and only. I am 12. I am younger than a lot of people think I am. I am hella. Oh, I actually started the wrong map. Let's see. I started the wrong match, so I was trying to respond to somebody. Whenever I try to multitask, it goes wrong. Let's see. I am 17, Mystic. I started the wrong replay. I'm trying to just select a match, and at least I'm trying to select a match, and it's going. I'm struggling. Okay. All right. Enough of this. Let's see. The next map is Mystic versus Scary Mouse. Finally selected the right replay, and we're ready to go. Okay. In King's Cove. On King's Cove, we have the Red Zerg Scary Mouse. And at the bottom, we have the Yellow Terran Mystic. Bye, Sketchy. Glad to have you back, man. Glad to see you always in streams and helping out the team. It's very cool. So we've got a TVZ. Now Mystic is well known for slaying nerds with his TVZ, with his crisp timings. Godlike. However, he is playing in a higher slot than he normally does. He's playing in the Diamond 2, Diamond 3 slot, so that means that he's playing against a much higher caliber of players than he was last season. So it's going to be a step up in challenge for him this season. Last season he was playing in the slot that Wizard was playing in, the MMR capped Diamond 3 slot. That was renegotiated and Mystic was above the MMR, so he can no longer play in that slot, unfortunately. I wish I could give you a little bit more intel on Scary Mouse. Not super familiar with all of their players. Sure, throughout the season I will become much more acquainted with them. But as this is week 1, I haven't seen a ton of action from them. He is a mouse, it's true. A+ observation skills, MC. Is he a member of Mouse Rat? That's a good question. So, the Reaper is here for Mystic. And there's 4 lings, so we'll see if Mystic's micro... Okay. Already started with the waffling on his name this season. But I'm going to go with Mystic. So, like I said, just poking around, getting some scouting intel. I missed the timing of that third. I wanted to check that. Seems like it was fast enough. Maybe a 245 hatch as opposed to a 230. You know, the 230 to 245 ballpark range for that third hatch. So, looks like it is going to be a 2-1-1 build, most likely from Mystic. He was quite good at that, getting those timings down. And on King's Cove, I think that's a solid choice. Got several nice droppable locations here to pick apart the Zerg with multitask, and that it is a pretty large distance from natural to natural, so you don't have to worry about pressure from the Zerg very soon. And also the natural has a nice little extended. This is, you know, the trend we've been seeing with where the area from the natural is nicely defended. There's not a choke, but there's a choke right there. So, not 100% on the third location of this. I'd always assumed it was this one. However, I've heard a lot of people say that they would rather take this one. This does mean that if your army is at your natural, then if there's a drop at the third, you do have to pull it all the way down, and then they can just pick up and go to your main. So I realized that threat. Ooh, there's a Ling in here as well. Getting some nice scouting intel. Marines taking that down. But now, see, Scary Mouse now knows exactly what's coming. He's got tons of Lings on the production tab. Extra Queens. So it's very unfortunate for Mystic. Oops, not what I wanted to hit. How can I get rid of that? That's the wrong key. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, we went a little bit too far back here. Oops. Going back in time, I accidentally hit the B key instead of the N key. Rip. And yeah, as I was saying, this scouting intel is so huge because the 2-1-1, not that now Mystic can't win, but there's not a lot of possible damage here that he can get on drones, which is, you know, a very big bonus of the 2-1-1. He's multitasking, getting some drone kills. Also, it means Mystic has to be careful now because Scary Mouse is so well prepared for this that he can end up losing more if he wants to. Dropping outside of the base, smart move. He's not sure how many queens or static defense there is here. Gives him more reaction time. Okay, the marine pickup wasn't great. Lost a couple marines there. No big deal though. Got an overlord and is picking up and leaving. So Mystic can continue to poke around with this, maybe get a queen or two. See, is the transfuse going to be clutch here? Looks like it is. And meanwhile, creep spread is pushing out for looks like a surround for Mystic. Not really prepared for that, and the medevac getting dangerously low. So not a super successful 2-1-1 push out for Mystic. Like I was saying, Scary Mouse. What's really scary is his creep spread starting up already and pushing across at a nice manner. That is a lot of queens. So I expect this creep spread to be very nice. Throwing down his 4th base already. He's feeling confident. He defended that 2-1-1 very nicely. So he's in a good spot here. We got Blue Flame coming out for Mystic. And Cyclone in production as well. The 3rd CC going to land, and Mystic will be getting that 3rd base up. But the Zerg's 4th is already halfway down, so this is a critical base to hold for Mystic. I mean, duh, right? But at this point, he can't really afford any lifts or anything like that, so he's going to have to stay on top of where the Zerg is on the map, where the Zerg army is. I'd like to see him get some vision out on the map so he doesn't have, so any pressure doesn't catch him off guard with that 3rd. Getting depot walls as well is important. Production for Mystic is pretty on point. See supply capped now. However, 3 depots will be finishing up soon. So Mystic is pushing out. There's some little feelerlings out. We're going to spot this move out way before it starts. So again, that's the thing, is that the Zerg's vision... Basically, the Zerg's goal at this point is to just have enough time to react. Because like we saw in that game of Wizard, some wrong allocation of larvae can be brutal. So this means that he's not going to get caught off guard. He only has 2 medevacs for this, which is far too few. He only has 1 now as that twin gun down. He was trying to dive in on some of the queens, and this force is just getting brutally mocked up. Yikes. That was very bad. And the only real loss was a handful of queens. Now this force is rolling down to the 3rd, and as I feared, there is nothing there. I stand corrected, there is Blue Flame Hellions, which are very nice against Lings. The Bane's lagging behind a little bit. With the Banes, it's going to be all he needs to roll into the 3rd base in there. Oh, some nice connections. I'm not sure why that little notification bar of how many units have been lost is not popping up anymore, but it's a manly check. Those 14 SCVs there. It's a nice kill and forced to lift off. So now we got a 4-base Zerg versus 2-base Terran here. Not good. We've got double Spire on the way. Adding insult to injury for Mystic. What are our upgrades at? We've got, looks like, just +1 vehicle weapons. The, I assume the Blue Flame and +1 stacks to get 2-shot workers. Players do not have... Okay. Not playing on the game hard mod, that's why. Star Hunter... Where are the siege tanks? Siege tanks are pretty bad against Ling Bane, my man. And even worse against Mutualists, I'm assuming. Might just go straight into Broodlords, but if he wanted to. Seeing Mutualists more and more now, which is very cool. A band of Blue Flame Hellions scouting the map. Gonna get a few... Will I get it? Please get it. Please get it. Alright, got it. And these Hellions have to try so hard not to get surrounded. +2 attack is on the way, and because I believe since those Lings have +2 carapace that they don't get two-shotted. I'm not sure how the mech upgrades stack up with the carapace or whatnot, but I'm pretty sure that there's a critical one upgrade advantage of having with mech that allows you to two-shot units. I'm sure Landfear or someone could tell me. So Mystic is going full mech here. He's got Thors and lots of Hellions, which is honestly counter to what the old Mystic. Oh my goodness, that was not safe for work. That was disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself, Scary Mouse. So now, it's basically Lingbane Corruptor here. I assume he will morph them to Broodlords soon. But this very, very pitiful force of mech here is in no way going to be able to stop this. Wraparound of Lings. I mean, Lings hard countered Thors, so I think this was not a very optimal mech composition from Mystic. Although he was just behind from the beginning, so it's hard to judge too harshly, of course. But is he building another Spire? He's gonna have 3 Spire. Okay, sorry, that's Ultralis Cavern. Never mind. Got Greater Spire incoming. This force of 2 Thors coming out here. I mean, they're good at killing queens, which the creep spread has pushed about halfway across the map, which is decent. Not phenomenal, but I mean, it gives the Zerg a ton of time to react. 4 Thors. Lingbane is so ridiculously cost effective against this type of small mech force. Somehow Mystic has been able to get a... Oh wow, this is bad. I'm not sure what's going on with Mystic's SCVs, but there's a lot of Union SCV workers right now. There we go. Now he's fixing them. And in some miracle, now Mystic is tied on bases with Scary Mouse. Because I'm just surprised that Scary Mouse didn't pressure this base at all. I'm sure he will soon. We got the 5th base. Okay, sorry, never mind. He's not tied. The 5th base is up, and the 6th base is down. So here come the Lings. So the Fence of Fire. Ooh, those banelings are looking for a fat connection. Oh my goodness. No. No. So sad. So sad. A lot of scans happen somewhere. There we go. Ultralisks are on the way as well. We've got upgrades for them. Is that Flyer Attacks 3? Yes, it is. Don't see that a ton. Scary Mouse is playing very strong. That's the thing about Zergs, is that if Mystic, I think you just caught a tough break because an unharassed Zerg is so much better than a Zerg that you press and chip away at with your 2-1-1 timing. Imagine if that got 10 drones and a bunch of wings. It's a totally different game. When that gets denied so handily, and then Zerg's on 4 bases with absolutely no pressure, it's a really a tough match. The Broodlords are here, and Scary Mouse takes the W. Yeah, but thanks for playing, Mystic. I always appreciate people showing up, and it's good to watch these games and look at them, and of course, people way more qualified than me to look at them. There are people who hopefully we can look at, and I look to help me out with the practice. But if you are open to, learning and analyzing replays, or analyzing your play, I should say, that's very important and very much more valuable than just winning 1 week. So don't worry, man. We'll work on it with you. We'll get you the people you need to work on flush this stuff out. We got a ton of people here who can help you with that. So we will. Yeah, don't feel bad. So next game is Istex, correct? Yes, Istex. Yeah, Istex, right? I haven't said that out loud too many times before, so I was just checking. Yeah, there's a bio versus mech choice, which is kind of like it's almost like they have different strengths and weaknesses, but some of it's map, some of its play style, and they're definitely both legitimate. But I think you should try to figure out which one you like the best and which one you feel is more versatile for you against people at your level. But I think in that situation, the principles are the same, in that putting harassment on the Zerg, pressure on the Zerg, bio or mech, is critical. Because there was no pressure on the Zerg. He had a free ride going up to 4 bases, and that was pretty much it. Okay, so in the bottom of New Repugnancy, which is just a hilarious name, we've got Draxos as the Blue Zerg. And the Red Terran in the top corner, we've got Istex. I'm gonna have to take a sneeze break soon. Got one building up. Should have done it before I started this game, so I'm gonna be sniffling through this, but I'm gonna fight through it. So Reaper coming for Istex. Yeah, I think PG Drax was making a good point as well. Switching mech to bio is not something to think of lightly. You definitely commit to something for a certain amount of time. You can, there's hybrid styles that sort of, bio tank, different things like that. But when you do a 2-on-1, when you switch to mech, it means that's the thing, is after the 2-on-1 there wasn't much. there wasn't a ton you could do, and PiGPan was pointing out even in Brood War, it's not uncommon to start. I mean, you pretty much it's not uncommon to start Bio against a Zerg and then switch to Mech later in the game. But it's still a big decision, and you're weaker and you're not harassing Zerg for a certain amount of time. You have to calculate that into your build. This is not going out. It's not look good for AlpX. The Reaper was all the way across the map, and with CC on the low ground means that got canceled. And now there's Lings getting a ton of SCV kills. Got 6 there. So that's the thing with Reactor in the middle, is that if it's not up, you can't repair your wall. So yeah, that's the thing. We talk about that a ton. CC on the low ground is a little bit greedier, and when you have Reaper across the map like that, it's even more of a risk. Late third coming down. Am I missing something? Yeah, it's a pretty late third. But he did commit to that. Alright, I just made the connection that PG Draxos. This is Draxos. He's watching his own game. Okay. So, nice play, Draxos. I don't think AlpX is in the chat. He is a Frenchman, so very late there. Reaper poking around. Is there a ledge? Yeah, there is. Never mind. It's not like these weird all in the Nidus maps that don't have Reaper ramps into the main. So it looks like AlpX is choosing to go for Banshee. A Overlord will get a full scout of this though, so very nicely done. Kinda sacking an Overlord here, but honestly, if he turns around right now, he's going to be able to escape with it. But when you send an Overlord in, you kind of assume it's going to get gunned down. With the 1 Marine coming out will be enough. As it's too far, and turn him back. It's too late now, buddy. Banshee's coming out. Cloak is 60% done. And he's actually had to pull a drone all the way from the 3rd to get that 3rd spore colony down. So if the Banshee had gone to the 3rd, there might be a window of time. But he's going to the main and the natural, which already have spores down, as well as queens. So he might be able to get a couple of the extractor drones, if he is careful. Ooh, going in before he cloaks. It's not good, buddy. Ah, what are you doing? What are you doing? Ah. No, you. Ooh, that was frustrating to watch. But that Banshee is down to 32 HP. So no damage there. So AlpX already suffered several points in this chess match of StarCraft. Several good moves from Draxos. You know, 6 SCVs down at the beginning, getting a full scout, reacting to that, totally denying the Banshee scout, and also making it so weak that it's basically useless for a bit, because you have to have a little bit more HP. I mean, you can still try, but you have to have a little bit more HP before you can do like dives. But here's the thing, though. As I say that, just the SC2 gods just say, "Screw you, Borg. We're gonna make those Banshees be the most effective Banshees ever." Okay, so, but still, he does lose that Banshee, so kind of right. Okay, 3rd CC is being produced, being built as a part of the wall. So Draxos was trying to get that 4th established. And no dice on that one, and still no drone move up there. That's something that's a strong move, is that worker, killing the worker that players send to build the additional base is very strong, because at this level, losing a drone, you know, it's inconsequential. If immediately after that they send a new drone, it doesn't do too much. But a lot of times players can forget. You know, this is a fast-paced game, as everyone knows, so players at lower levels are more likely to forget that, and then it can delay their build by a good 30-45 seconds. So that's a strong move for my sex. And it is going to be Mutalisks. He is hiding those quite well. Have there been any scans recently? Got that French StarCraft. So yeah, no scans, which is a mistake. Icex has zero intel on what Draxos is doing. And ooh, friendly fire on. What was that CC fire? Oh, a changeling. That's right. Okay. It's like, what caused that to happen? I believe those Mutalisks were spotted by a lone marine, but there is just nothing at this third. There's marines, but still. Okay, going into the main, he can get that turret before it finishes building here. If he, yeah, selects it, can mass build that turret, but still so many SCVs dying here as they all clump up to build that turret. Now he's down about 30 SCVs. You can lose that tank as well, which is big. Could continue to get damage. Okay, Draxos. It's not mass build, it's just they're all crowding that one thing and trying to get one to hop in, so. Same difference. Yeah, this game's over for Icex, unfortunately. All of I can see, they've got a 4 base versus struggling 3 base, and it's just unfortunate how there's been almost zero harass here on Icex, and very strong harass on Icex from Draxos, so that combined with an untouched Zerg is super scary. We've got Lingbane Muta here, which is a cool comp, but that's come back recently. Icex is trying to go for a biotank composition, which is strong, but this is going to get ugly here in a second. The tank is sieging, but there's almost no resistance to those banelings. Just a hot knife through butter. And GG is called. An unfortunate loss. But good to see Icex playing. Again, he was a sub. So, came in unprepared. Came in a little bit fresh. Was unfortunate. But again, thanks to Draxos and Icex for playing. And it is time for the game. Speaking in monosyllables, for Landfear versus MC2. Hope everyone is hyped, because this is two literal gods about to play. So I'm just gonna get a tissue. Take me 3 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, hopefully you couldn't hear that sneezing sound. Those not sneezing, blowing sound was pretty disgusting, but I think my mic is not super sensitive, so fingers crossed that it didn't pick it up. Again, thanks everybody in the chat. Getting good viewer numbers. Thanks for hanging out, PiGPan members. Okay. We're coming into this match down a game. You heard it. Sorry about that. Hope it didn't ruin your appetite. Why was that afternoon time? I don't know, but hopefully it didn't ruin your day. Okay. For our Diamond 1 slot, we've got, in the bottom corner, of Port Alex Asander. It is MC2 as the light pink Protoss. And in the top corner of Port Alexander, the All-in-Nidus map that got into the ladder. Shout out to that league. It is the Orange Terran, Lanfear. The fear of everyone at the LAN he's at is what some interpret his name as, some being me. Everyone else, it's a book person. Someone in a book. But I think it'd be cool if it was named like Lanfear, capital L-A-N. Maybe it's a double entendre, whatever that's called. Anyhow, we've got a PVT. Cool. Enough of that Zerg race. And excited to see some PVT. Been a lot of people. It's been, I don't know if everybody's heard, but there's been a lot of people complaining, namely Terrans, whining about the state of this matchup. It's ridiculous, you know. As always, Terrans trying to find a reason to complain about the meta of this matchup. So we'll see here. Is it impossible for Terrans to win in this position? We'll have to see. Certainly isn't reflected at the highest level of play, so we'll see. So some people are like, Terrans don't complain? What are you talking about? Mystic. It's not. We don't complain. Of course. Sounds like a Terran. Sounds just what a Terran would say. We've got Double Reaper coming in here. How many probes can he get with this? Because the Stalker is so underpowered, looks like he's going to be able to get a stupid number of kills and a little bit of a miss micro too from MC2. Gonna escape with one, and how many probes? He got 5 probes, so nice value there. Hey, Pensai in the chat, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, we're our master. We've got a lot of players this season, per slot, especially some of the slots. It's very crowded, so it's difficult to I missed something huge. I feel like I missed something huge. My bad. I was too busy talking. Yeah, I missed that. I think it was Adepts coming in here. How many SCVs died? Only one. And we've got, looks like gonna be Disruptors coming in here. And we've got Graviton Thrusters being researched. I believe that's what it's called. Shuttle Speed. Not something you see, Pensai. Now I'm just a washed up low M1 trash. Yeah, you went to that Masters 1, Spirit in the sky, that the what's that called? Endless hunting grounds of low M1. So this attack's coming out here, and I'm really not a huge fan of disruptors. So we'll see what they can do here. We do have missile turrets, of course, in the mineral line. It is bio with Cyclone, but looks like Landfear is going that bio tank style. So there will be a tank as well as Cyclone here to defend. And despite the disruptors, that could be good. Oh, that was nice. Landfear actually made it worse by moving the SCVs. That's a tough thing to do in reaction, but that was actually 5 SCVs total. Huh. Okay. So that looked horrible, but it actually wasn't the worst thing in the world. Nice value though for a disruptor. Still, it is a lot of production and a lot of APM that he sacrificed doing that. How was his production at home? Okay, he's getting, looks like stalkers. Does he have blink? Does he have a Twilight Council? It's going down now, so blink's gonna be a ways off. It looks like he's going to try to go for like a Colossus Stalker Disruptor comp, which can be good. It really comes down to the Disruptor micro a lot of times. Speaking very stilted, I'm sorry. Too many things. So it looks like Landfear, with this biotank style, his production's been pretty good. He's got a nice little bioforce here. Okay, that's... Oh my goodness, that's disgusting again. Look at that. Wow, what is it with PiGPan players and just getting the fattest hits on their splash units tonight? That was disgusting. Ugh. Wash your hands after watching that. Wash your eyes. Gall to do such a thing on Valentine's Day. And it's bad. That's bad. The third Nexus is up for MC2. Worker count is, he has a nice lead there. His worker production has been quite good. His army production is about tied as well, so looks like he's doing all right. He only has 5 gateways, which is pretty low, and he's continuing to produce a lot of disruptors. Now, the thing with disruptors is that they're very good, but the problem is that it's high risk, high reward. I feel like I don't need to lecture. For some reason, disruptors always invoke like some long speech for me, but anyways, the disruptors, they're super risky, and the amount of times I've seen them fail at a certain level is just a lot of times. And as opposed to something that's just a more standard play like Colossus, a hard time seeing that work. And the other thing is that you've got 5 Colossus instead of 7 disruptors or something. You can work on microing storms or other things like that, whereas you have to individually, in order for you to get the value that out of your disruptors, you have to micro them individually. So this could be good here. Landfear's forces are all on the line. Some great shots. Very nicely done. And here's the thing. Landfear moving out too far here. And getting caught off guard there. So that's the situation. Disruptors paid off for themselves there. I believe he lost 2. Yes, he lost 2 there. Although one of them was from... No, he got away with that one, right? Okay. MZ2's production slipped a little bit. But he has a good army, and the thing is that he could have pressed there. I'm not sure why he went back, but could have pressed and gotten more damage on, I think that was like 2 tanks. No, it was a little bit less. It was a little bit more than that, but so maybe 3 tanks and some medevacs. Then if he continues to chain that forward, then that's more damage. Now, Lanfear's production was strong, so it may have not been game-ending, but it would have been very significant damage, and... Oh, my voice cracked. There it is. Now does it make sense? Seen my face. Okay, so... Anyways, the tanks... Okay. He's sieging at this location, and the disruptor count is high. But other than that, it's a bunch of squishy stalkers, so... If he gets money disruptor shots, I think he wins here. However, if he whiffs on a bunch of the disruptors, then... Here's the thing, I don't think he should force I don't think he should force the issue here. Because Lanfear's still on 2 base. He's on 4. No need to throw away your expensive disruptors here by trying to force a fight that you don't need to. At this point, just go home, get better tech, and get some Colossus. Get a more diverse army. I have a feeling like he's going to push in here, and it's not going to go well. But he's linking forward without disruptors. I don't... Okay, that was a nice hit. That was nice. So he's pushing him out of tank range here, which is strong. But still losing a lot of stalkers here, fighting outside the cooldown, and he's just walking back to his tank range. This is a very strong position for Lanfear to be in. And the problem is that Lanfear doesn't have a 3rd base. So this is the thing, is that I've done this a ton, is that it's very easy to just think that you have to attack now when you don't have to attack now. Go home, get a stronger army. This is Zealot, Adept, this is Stalker, Adept, and a handful of disruptors. Get Colossus, get Storm. You know, diversify your army. Because right now you're just, this army is hoping you get good disruptor shots. Because Stalkers, Adepts are garbage. Wow, that looks like it was going to be a great hit. But in the past 2 minutes, he hasn't really landed any good disruptor shots. And now that there's Liberators, there's tanks, good luck getting... If you're going to get this good disruptor shots at this point, it's going to be because Lanfear messes up micro. It's not going to be because... It's just... That's the way I predict it's going to go here. See Lanfear just backing up. And very, very little damage. So, I think that MC2... He's not throwing this game... I think he's a little bit throwing this game, but not because he didn't attack in early. It's because I think he's trying to force the issue when he really doesn't need to. He's in a great position economy-wise. And, for instance, go for the 3rd. You know Lanfear's armies economy is hurt because you did a good job in the early game, but go for the 3rd. Get some SCVs. Also, okay, there's a 3rd. Yeah, there's actually, no, sorry, 3rd base. The space is open too. Go for an attack here. But it's 4 base, and we see Templar Archives now. We see still Disruptor production. I really don't like Disruptors this late in the game. But we'll see. Could get some money shots. And this is just going to get ugly here. That's the thing, is that, and to say it's StarCraft 2, Stalkers, the Gateway Protoss force is absolute garbage against Terran. So, now Lanfear is pressing forward slowly. And just abusing him here. Look at all those disruptors just going home. And that's the game, unfortunately. So I think MC's play was very strong up to a certain point, and then just didn't transition out of it, which sometimes can be a product of not, playing this specific type of game a lot. You're not unsure what to do, but either way, strong play from MC up till a certain point, and yeah, gateway counts seems very low as well. He's got some there, but he's got a bank, and on 4 base, he can use more or a second robo. Does he have 2 robos? Yeah, should get a second robo. If you're committing to disruptors, then need a second or third when you're banking any money at all. So I think Lanfear has this game locked up pretty nicely. I'm just gonna be slowly pressing forward here with Liberators. Yeah, this is rough. No production outside of really anything at this point. Still producing disruptors? No. He's gonna have Storm here, but could get some nice storms, but I don't think he has enough here. Lanfear has his 3rd base has long been established and got his 4th base up as well. Lanfear's production has been very strong at this point. The 4th base is under siege, and oh! Almost got a nice disruptor shot off. But Lanfear was able to gun it down. Storms at the end here are nice, but too little too late. Okay. So many Templars dying to Liberators. Very sad. MC2 pushed out here, but he is on 1 base. And he looks like he burned through a lot of his bank. He's moving across the map. Looks like he's just going to try to see what he can do with this last army. Question is, okay, he has Blink. Never mind. Of course he has Blink. I don't know why I thought that, but yeah, no mining for MC. Lanfear, his 4th base is established. Got a ton of mules there. Very nice. And this Liberator bio tank style is so strong against Protoss. It's very tough. No matter what composition you're going, whether it's a Colossus Stalker type thing, it's so difficult because you've got the Liberators just being constant zoning, and then you've got bio tanks. So hard to engage. Sniping the 4th is nice, but Lanfear can take it. And the big push is moving across the map here for Lanfear. Going to set up shop for the final push. Liberation zones are up. And force everything back. And we could see some nice storms here at the end. That would be satisfying, but not to be. GG. Well played, Lanfear. Well played, both players. Okay. So, our first game is going to be our master slot is going to be Jay Skippy versus Stefan. And it is tied up 3-3. So, great week from both teams. It was a fun fight. And went down to the Masters set. Alrighty. In the top corner of Kairos Junction, we do have the purple Zerg, Jay Skippy. And at the top, we have, at the bottom, we have the green Zerg, Stefan. we've got some more ZVZ here. I hate it when we have ZVZs in the finals, but it just feels like, in the coin flippy feeling of the ZVZ, I always hate it when it's tied 3-3 and then it comes down to a ZVZ, but it's unfortunate. Star Hunter, thank you for tuning in. Have a good night, man. Looks like we have a much faster pool from J Skippy. It's going to be a 14 hatch, 14 pool, looks like. Unless that was earlier, I missed that. 14, 13. So that affects the timing of the natural a little bit. Means Stefan is later. But J Skippy did sacrifice several workers to get that up. So this is going to be a Ling play. He pulled workers off gas once he got that 100. So it's going to be pushing across the map with Lings. Stefan looks like he is really pull drones off gas once he gets to 100. He'll leave them on, looks like, for a bit. J Skippy's speed going to be significantly, well, a little bit faster. And Lings are going to pop out, but seemingly inconsequential. Not very expert, not a super good judge of PvZ builds, but this is going to mean that Stefan's going to have a defense here, because looks like J Skippy's going to come in with a control grouper and half of Lings. But looks like Stefan's building quite a few Lings as well. So this is interesting. It looks like sort of a similar builds. Different starts, but they're kind of trending in a similar direction. We do have a Baneling nest for Stefan, though, and none for J Skippy. Which, just on the course of defending, that's going to favor Stefan a lot. Drone count still is in favor of J Skippy. In favor of Stefan. Meanwhile, that Overlord did see it, so he knows what's coming. So now, looks like Stefan won't build any more Lings. We've got some Banes being morphed here. And J Skippy, there's a very small window of time that he can get damage done before the Banelings pop. Looks like he gets one canceled. Does he get the other one? Oh, that's brutal. Looks like he does not get that canceled. And that will explode on a lot of the Lings. So very unfortunate for him. Man, this is a brutal match, ZVZ. I'm glad I don't have to play it. And that's the thing, is just, I can't imagine J Skippy winning this without Banelings. Because Banelings are just seem like they're going to be the X factor here in army fights. That was not a great hit, though. It looks like Stefan lost more than J Skippy. So J Skippy also has produced more. He's got an army lead here. So he's going to try to... Ooh, but it looks like he's getting distracted by these Lings. I thought he was just going to try to push across the map. He is, but those precious seconds are going to allow... Stefan to get plenty of defense Lings. He's going to dive. I'd like to see him dive on the drones. He pulls a couple Lings on the drones. More would be good, but... Okay, so that's actually a good fight from J Skippy. But Banelings morph. This is what's so brutal, is that... At the end of the day, even if you can take good fights, it's so hard to fight Banelings with Lings. That was some good fights from J Skippy, but with the Queen in the main, I can't see him to do much. The second Queen is already morphed, and just constant larva production of Lings. So tough for J Skippy. We've got a 15 to 26 worker supply lead for Stefan as well. Brutal. We've got 18. We have more Lings on the production tab for Stefan than we do for J Skippy. cancel some Banes, but looks like Stefan will stabilize here, and Skippy window of time to do damage is over. Looks like he's going to try to go for Roach Warren push. I don't think that'll work. The economy's just so far ahead for Stefan. Glad to see Landfair MC. Looks like going to practice some. That's very cool. It was an entertaining match. I think you guys are pretty evenly matched. So, looks like, yeah, Roach Warren going down for Stefan as well, so not much you can do there. So, it looks like this gamble, this pushing in, being aggro from Skippy just did not pan out here. Unfortunate, and we'll see what he comes to the table with for game 2. He tries something aggressive again, or tries to play a bit more a normal reactionary game. It seems so hard to make early lane timings work because, you know, the defender's advantage as well, and you're just kind of doing it blind. So it's so coin flippy. Whereas I think the Roach, the more aggressive style on 2 bases with Roaches, I don't know, I like seeing that a bit more because it feels a little bit more controlled doing that out of the gate rather than early lane pressure because it's not so coin flippy. And I could be totally out of my league here, but I like that aggressive Roach play rather than aggressive Ling play. Because if Stefan was going for a decent, you know, a more macro style, he didn't go for Bane Nest or something like that, that style could have worked for Skippy. However, he didn't know he had a Baneling Nest, and that was pretty much it. And he still had opportunities, but he got some brutal hits, explosions on the Banes. Got this army coming across, and transfuses are strong. And oh, Baneling's coming in from the side. There's static defense here. This is the petering out of the last army from Skippy. And looks like should have GG here pretty soon. GG, nice hold. Yeah, I don't think we should understate just how nice some of those Baneling connections were. Very strong. So, great play from Stefan. Okay, so we're going to go into our last game of the night. It's going to be on Cyber Forest again. And it is game number 2 of Skippy versus Stefan. No problem, Landfear. Appreciate it. I mean, yeah, always fun to cast, and I enjoy it, even though I don't always know what I'm talking about. I try to, if I know I'm gonna cast, I try to research, watch a bunch of GSL, watch a bunch of WCS, so I know that what's going on currently. But when I'm in between those 2 phases, I can make some hot takes that are sound pretty stupid. But glad you like it. Okay. For game number 2 of this best of 3 in the master set, we've got the purple Zerg at the top, Skippy. Not sure if that's like a peanut butter reference or not. I actually never have asked him. Or a nickname. And for his opponent, we have the green Zerg, Stefan. So it looks like no 13-14 shenanigans from J Skippy, just a standard 17 hatch from both players. Looks like a earlier gas, however, from Stefan. So his speed will be what actually end up being earlier? I'm not sure. He will have more gas to work with, so maybe he's going for a roach timing? We'll see. It's only about 30 more gas, but we'll see if it ends up mattering. If one of these players pulls after they get to 100 gas, or if they keep him on. Yeah, I could keeping him on, so I'm not sure if there's a huge consequential difference between that amount of gas. It looks like J Skippy's reducing down to 1, where Stefan is not. However, their speeds are going to be virtually identical when you factor in map travel. And Overlords at each other's bases, of course, so there's going to be no surprises for a certain amount of time in this game. Looks like Stefan is going for the Baneling Nest at the natural, which, you know, puts some HP out there in the sort of as a wall, and if you're not particularly trying to hide it, can be strong. J Skippy's going to come in here with a few lings. Going to try to fight this queen. Forces a few drones to be pulled. Not sure if that was necessary. But he does see the Baneling Nest, which is nice. And the third base coming down for J Skippy. So it looks like he's going to be playing an economical style. Ooh, this is going to be big. Let's see if Steven scouts that. So the third going down pretty quickly for J Skippy as well. Steven has not scouted that, whereas J Skippy has. Though I assume he will move that Overlord in pretty quickly. And it looks like we've got a flood of lings being produced from J Skippy. From both players, really. So pretty similar builds, it looks like. Just getting a large number of Ling Bane. Looks like J Skippy is trying to pressure that third. But it's detained. Ooh, J Skippy is actually going to lose this Overlord, it looks like. That's going to be big. And there is plenty of lings to defend that third base. Stefan still not... Okay, sees the creep now, so he knows that third is there for sure. And it looks like it's going to be J Skippy who's going for Roach first. He went for Roach Warren. Missed that. However, we've got a Roach Warren Evo retaliation as well. So J Skippy's going to try to keep putting on pressure that third, and that's something that is good with... We see these Ling pokes in, is reducing the HP. Look at that hatch is about 40% HP. That can be pretty crucial in a ZVZ, which means you can dive on that third. It's much more of a... It's not as risky as it is if it's at a full HP hatchery. So I think that's a strong play from J Skippy if he's going to try to dive on that. However, army supplies are pretty even, and Roach Warren is out as well. Ooh, it looks like some lings slip by and are attacking the third of J Skippy. Actually might just sack that. Okay, missed. That's unfortunate that they weren't playing with the Game Hard mod, so we cannot see what that damage was, but that could have been pretty crucial. Okay, that was a ton of lings. That was about... It's hard to tell exactly how many were damaged before, but looks like J Skippy lost. J Skippy's going into the natural. I strongly disagree with this. I don't think you can gain by going... Oh, this is just a little bit not of a... This is a not well-orchestrated attack from J Skippy, I'm sorry to say. Move commanding with those roaches a lot. He's lost his third at home, and there's no way he can get that third. So a little bit indecisive play from J Skippy. Trying to be aggressive, but not able to... Yeah, very manner play from JSKP, complimenting him, and well played, both players. And Stefan, congratulations on getting the match point win. All right, so that is it, everybody. Sorry, not the pre-roll. That is the week, everyone. Congratulations to PiGPan for getting the win for 3. This is very unfortunate for us AlphaX fans that we lost week 1. But congratulations to them for the solid win. And thanks to everyone, for all our players, for playing, getting matchup contact, sending me replays, all that good stuff. You guys are great. All right, hopefully I will be casting, possibly with someone next week. So be sure to check that out. This is on Thursday. I try to do it Monday or Tuesday if I can. I've been doing it for a few seasons now. Going back to season 17 or something like that. So, yeah, typically Monday, Tuesday, I always try to do it then, but it rarely works out that way. And, yeah. So hopefully, but I'll announce it for our replays of the games against UR. Okay, so that's it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck to PiGPan for the rest of the season. And thank you to Monster Mash for having a good matchup this week. All right, hope everyone has a great rest of their Valentine's Day. If you've had a nice evening, and yeah, wish everyone a fantastic rest of their week. Take it easy, guys, and I will see you next week.